All right, everybody. AMG Hobby Talk number 58. We are back. This one is the to be continued, keep an eye on this space episode because we're going to allude to a couple different things. And as we get into them, we'll be able to mention it to you. But at the same time, keep an eye on the social medias, keep an eye on the different pages because that's where you're going to get the details. But before we go, Scallops Collector people, Steve, how are you today?
Good. I'm just going to see if we can get Blair to show us his Taylor Swift tattoo that he got last weekend. He joined the Eras Tour last week, so he's been tickled pink ever since he got back.
Well, my understanding is that's only happening for the Patreon. Stay tuned to this space. Blair, how are you?
Fantastic. Unfortunately, where I decided to place that tattoo, I will not be able to show it.
That's what I figured.
Well, that's the reason why it's behind the Patreon. We have to put it behind the Patreon wall. But you can't offer that to the people for free on YouTube. It's not allowed. Yep. There are terms of service conditions that we have to meet, and it is what it is. Like, you got to do what you got to do. But as I said, this episode, we're going to touch on a couple different things. No specific one product we're going to talk about, but there is some stuff that is coming into the store, so we'll touch on that in a second. So before I do that, though, let's talk about one or two things. You got this week that we're recording. This week is going to be the trade night on Friday, and then on Saturday there's going to be the card show. So we're going to have that. I don't know if you have the hours or anything, Steve, for the card show. I remember, I think it's 9 to 3. I always get the numbering wrong.
Yeah, it's 9 to 3 on Saturday, and just a super hectic week for us. Of course, we got to deal with the Black Friday sales, getting ready for that. Sherry's been gallivanting in Cape Breton or something the last few days, but I think she's back now, so we'll start getting organized. We just did some inventory yesterday, so kind of went through what the items that we are going to put on sale this week. So be busy Friday. Then we got to set up the tables Friday night while we're having our awesome trade night. And then follows right into the Saturday morning card show. So it's going to be a super hectic 72 hours for us. And at 5:01 on Saturday, let's just say I'll be looking forward to it because I'm off on Sundays.
There you go. Perfect. So, just to recap, it is going to be the Black Friday sales are going to be coming up. If you want to get specifics and everything, keep an eye on the social medias. Keep an eye on the Facebook page, Instagram, the various contact points. You can go to the website if you want to get access to it. We also put that information in the description. So you're going to get all that information. And at the same time, Black Friday deals. And then, as I said, Friday trade night and then Saturday card show. Both are going to be in the same mall. So you'll be able to go there if you want to check it out. If you know where the card shop is, you'll know where the card show is. It's all in the same spot. And all the tables for the dealers were sold out. So it should be a pretty good card show setup for everybody involved. So just keep an eye on that because there is a lot of that involved. Now, real quick, I'm going to read a couple of comments from the last episode. So we've got a couple. Again, appreciate everybody who leaves a comment. So Gotham Collections in there, as always, with great video and awesome additions from the expo. Excellent. Thank you for that. Didn't include a Go Sens Go, though.
Go Sens Go.
Well,
You're slipping.
They did lose 5 in a row, so there hasn't been much to cheer about. Although they did win last night.
He was in yesterday, so I wasn't feeling very chatty, but they
might have tempered a little of the enthusiasm you're saying.
Yeah, just a little.
Fair enough. So then Waka Waka also said, great show, appreciate you all, appreciate you. So thank you both. We're going to put a little heart emojis there to acknowledge both of those comments. So thank you for that. Always, if we do include the comments, we try to include them in the next episode. So thank you folks for participating. Appreciate that. And then this will be dropping on the Wednesday when you guys hear it. And then also be aware that we're still doing the live episodes. So the live episodes happen basically after the end of kind of close of the store on Tuesdays. And that is usually around, I think, 6:15 your time. And then 5:15 Eastern. So adjust your time zone accordingly, but that's when we're doing the episodes. And that's a little bit more freeform, a little bit more open-ended, and we kind of chat a little bit with the chat and with each other. And then sometimes there are giveaways. There have been giveaways the last couple of weeks, so kind of fun if you do happen to catch us live. You can also check it out on replay and get a little bit of the conversation, but some good stuff. One other thing I'll include before we talk about a couple of products that are in the store, and that are some of them restocks and some of them new versions of it. I do want to make mention of the eBay store. That information is included in the description as well. So check it out. Every week there are new lots. So it's Sunday to Sunday. That stuff is available there and you can kind of flip through. The link is included in the description and you can check it out. Kind of flip through it. A little bit of old, a little bit of new. There's all kinds of stuff all the time. So just flipping through it, you can see a couple different things here. V356 Worldwide Gum Hockey, vintage. And then you see a bunch of modern along with it. So it is a mix of all kinds of stuff. And when Steve get some stuff in the store, it makes its way on there. You got a Bedard over here. You got another one over here. Well, actually, this is another Team Canada one. But you can flip through. High end, low end, middle end, all kinds of stuff. So you can scan through every week and see what's new in the eBay store.
Yes, and actually that worldwide Goblin card you featured there, I probably have over 100 of them. I think there's 135 cards in the set. And I priced them for the store, but I just threw a token example up on eBay, and I don't know, 90 seconds later, a guy contacted me saying he was trying to complete his Detroit Red Wings set, and within 10 minutes, his set was completed. So it's always a good way to touch base with people through eBay, because you might see something along the same lines of what you're looking for. So this guy saw, that card from the set and reached out, and within 10 minutes, his set was complete. And I think AMG's been making dreams come true for 30 years, we like to say.
Wow. It's a new tagline. I didn't get that one. Making dreams come true. Interesting. Interesting.
T-shirts to follow.
Yeah. Listen, Blair, if we're going to have that kind of a tagline, that's ambitious. What I'm hearing is that we need to make one dream come true. Again, Alan and Ginter, Topanga. Blair, I have a job for you. Alan Ginter, Topanga. Just saying.
Okay.
There have been some sandwich issues in the past. All is forgiven if an Alan and Ginter Topanga finds its way.
I'm making notes as we speak.
You should.
Actually, a new sandwich shop opened next door too, so Blair can get lots of trading in the upcoming.
I think the Topanga card is a safer play, Blair. Don't do it. The sandwich is a trap. The sandwich is a trap.
Yeah, that's right.
Just throwing it out there. Listen, I'm not giving you advice, but Blair, I'm giving you some advice. Go with the Topanga card. It's a safer play.
Away from the sandwiches.
Yep. So, Steve, can you tell me? So, I mentioned there's no one specific product this week. However, there are a variety of different ones. Some of them are restocks. Some of them are different forms. So, different types of boxes from the previous or some products that have come in the store. Is there a couple from the list that you would like to make sure we touch on?
Yeah, so actually, even though there's nothing specifically new, there is a lot of good restocks, or like you touched on, different formats. We did get some WNBA select basketball blasters. So for everyone that's chasing after the Caitlin Clarks and some of the other top ladies from that league, we'll have some of that in the store. A restock of the WWE Select Hobby that flew out the door. I was able to get some more of that. And then the Topps Baseball Holiday, they're coming in a different variation. It's called a Mega Box Tin. So those will be here in time for Christmas.
Hold on, Steve. I got you. I had enough coffee today, so I can do it. Hold on. Mega Box.
Sure.
I got you.
And also, too, a few people have contacted us about Formula One. So we're getting the Chrome Formula One Racing Light, it's called. So that will be here tomorrow. And then also, too, some USC Chrome value boxes from 2024. So definitely a variety of stuff that we don't normally receive. So just in time for Christmas. And also one last one, I think there's a Marvel Allegiance Secret Wars is also arriving. So yeah, it's a nice selection. And then there is a pretty good sized list of Pokemon restocks, but I dare not try to translate them. I don't know if Blair wants to speak on it.
Yeah, I was just having a peek too. So we're getting Surging Sparks boosters, limited, of course. This is all limited, but Stellar Crown and Twilight Masquerade ETBs back in stock. So I know those were popular. Obsidian Flames booster bundle. So that's still, people look for Obsidian Flames. So that's about the highlights. There's a few other, the Crown Zenith Premium Treasures collection. I forget what that one is. I think it's the EX box, if I remember correctly. But so we are getting some restocks on some of those products. So
very nice, very nice. And one important factor, as always, we always mention it, but I'm going to just bears repeating, is that if you are curious about pricing and availability and any of those things, reach out directly to the store. That is always the best way to get the answer on what is available right now, and also pricing and any of those details, because a lot of them are restricted in terms of being able to mention it online in this venue. But if you reach out to the store, you can get answers to those questions and get a little more information. Always a good idea.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's touch on, we'll go into a couple of items that came in the store. So I do have a couple of examples here that we can share. So a little bit of a mix of different things, but let's take a closer look at some of these and then we'll chat for a couple minutes and call it an episode.
I'm
So
excited.
little streamlined one for you folks. What was that, Blair?
I'm excited. I was away this week, so I want to see what Steve pulled in.
Oh, absolutely. So we're going to start off with a 2023 O-Pee-Chee Platinum, a Luke Evangelista. So this is an orange checkers rookie autograph on card, which is nice. One of the things about Platinum that I like is that it's on card, and you got a nice PSA 10 here. So a good clean looking card here.
That's a great product. I know it's kind of that, not the high range product, but it sold really well for us. It is a really, like you said, on card autos, and just they do a really nice job with the Platinum.
We're definitely looking for restocks of this product. It's just, it's a little pricier, but if anything pops up where we can pick up a case or two at a reasonable price, we'll definitely jump on it because they really are nice cards.
Yeah.
I will say, in terms of value, kind of piggybacking off of what the guys are saying, is that the fact that you're getting on card. There are some very high-end products now that you're getting sticker autos for them, and the fact that you can get on-card autos here is a really nice feature. I will say, for me, especially with it, I'm a fan of Platinum, especially some of the form factors that are in there. The retail has been nice in the past and things like that. But I think we're looking forward to the next year when the Bedard tax is off and the price kind of comes back down to where we're used to it, because I feel like it was a really great value at the previous price. It was a little high this past time, but that's because, again, people are chasing after the big rookie, so the price went up accordingly on the secondary with everybody across the board. But it's a cool product, generally speaking. So here's one from the brand new premiere from a couple weeks ago. So we got a nice Legends slap shots of Mario Lemieux. I think the design on this actually works really well for the autographs. Gives it a nice spot there for him to do it. And it looks like Mario took his time and actually put together a clean auto there for that one.
It's a beauty.
And Lemieux usually does provide a clean autograph, so I will give him credit on that. He does most of the time take his time when signing.
Absolutely. And that's number 10 of 10. So it is a more limited card, so it's a good looking card there. Then we got a little football here. We got a Joe Burrow from Donruss Optic 2023. PSA 10. This is the downtown with like a cartoon Bengal in the background.
Yeah.
Does it say Bengals in the background? Is that what it says?
I think
with two Z's.
Double Z, Bengals.
Well, that's very edgy there, Blair. Were you involved in this? Like this sounds like hip for the kids here. What are we doing?
Trying to put my input in where I can.
I see.
Most times nobody listens, but
I gotta be honest, I'm familiar with the downtowns. I'm more used to the downtowns where they'll put like city landmarks in the background, not a cartoon tiger and Bengals.
I don't hate it. I actually think it's kind of cool, but
yeah, and they're super popular, similar to like the Kabooms and the other short printed cards, but they don't last long when we get them.
Fair enough. Again, availability. If you're curious if any of these cards are available, be sure to reach out to the store. That is always the best approach. All right, so here we got a trio of cards, actually. This is kind of an interesting group here. So we got from Premier Inked Script. So we got a Gretzky autograph here. And then we got on top of it from the cup, we've got an Austin Matthews patch autograph. So that's another one there. And then a signature patches, Sidney Crosby. So kind of an interesting trio here that we've got included.
And these actually were part of the was a Premier, the Austin Matthews 101 patch deal.
Yes, that's right.
These were three of the cards that were included in that. Like we had discussed, I took a fair amount of cash, but then I wanted, he paid the rest of it with some nice high-end patch autos, things like that. And I can say all three of these have already sold. I put them in the showcase, and I think two different people, obviously one of them took the Crosby, one took the Gretzky, and then another guy came in and took the Matthews and the Crosby. So, nice cards and exactly what we wanted for the store. Unfortunately, but fortunately, they didn't last long. So, just really nice cards.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the reason why you do want to check in with the store just to see. If you see something that does catch your eye, reach out directly because that's the best way to make sure. So if you can see it or not, I just want to make sure I emphasize it. So out of the 3 cards, the Gretzky autograph was numbered to 25 here. The Crosby is also numbered to 25, and then the Austin Matthews is 3 of 8. So kind of short printed short printed autographs, and then obviously 2 patch autos included in this grouping here. And that was part of that mega deal that we featured with the Austin Matthews 1 of 1 shield. So we got a little bit of a dart here. This is Quick Strike from Metal Universe. I've actually seen some of these. They look, I think they're acetate cards. They're a little bit see-through. They've got a little bit of an interesting design with those ones.
Yeah.
And I believe this one, what makes this one unique too, I believe this was numbered at a 25 or 35. Okay. I can't remember. So obviously that adds significant value to it, being that it's a numbered card.
Yeah. And it is an interesting design as well, because I think, from what I can see, I think it's just a bunch of hockey sticks, isn't it? Isn't that what's going on in the background there? It's just a bunch of hockey sticks all stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, I actually am seeing this for the first time. But yes, it is. It's a bunch of hockey sticks.
There you go. An equipment room exploded, and that's what happened in the background there. That's kind of interesting. Yeah. All right, so here is also from Metal Universe. So here is the rookie. This is the autograph here. So obviously this was one of the chases in the Connor Bedard. And you can see, I think I've mentioned it briefly, but I think Gene McLeod of Arena Designs, who was involved in a lot of the 90s, especially the Metal Universes back then, was actually involved in some of this. And I believe I was listening to a podcast where she was giving a little background. And you can see here, there's like some spaceships going on in the background behind Connor Bedard here.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly from the podcast episode, is that originally she wanted to do some city landmarks in the background, but compared to the 90s, you can't do that anymore without some serious restrictions, because cities don't really want you to put landmarks and things like that in the background for different cities. So they ended up having to make up their own things with like cityscapes and all that, futuristic cityscapes with the spaceships and all kinds of stuff to give it kind of a space theme so that they could get around the fact they couldn't use real landscapes. So if you ever check the background of these ones, a lot of them have kind of a sci-fi thing going on.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for it.
I like the metal cards, but as you can see, it's almost impossible to find one, with nice, clean, surface and corners. They seem to touch up very easy. So to, attempt to get a PSA 10 on a metal card, whether it's a PMG or one of these, it's almost impossible, because they come right out of the pack with little chips on them.
Absolutely. Makes sense. So that one there is another good chase. And then we'll finish off with a classic. So we've got a 1979 Topps Wayne Gretzky rookie card here in a PSA 7. So kind of a decent high-end card. And then with the Topps, you don't get the rough edges that are kind of the hallmark of O-Pee-Chee, but a solid fun card here in the Topps.
Yep, and that was a Toronto pickup as well. I believe he put it towards and normally I don't trade newer cards for vintage cards, but the deal made sense anyway. He put it towards an Eddie Shore rookie card. So, along with some cash, he threw this in. We actually haven't had a nice Topps Gretzky in a while. So, and it's a 7 and, nice centering, great eye appeal. So I didn't mind having this one as well.
It's a beauty looking card. Great color.
Absolutely. Good stuff. So those are some cards that were shared, some items that had come in the store. So thank you, Steve, for providing those. Good mix of stuff. We were able to get a little bit of everything in there so that we were able to showcase some of those things. And like I said, some of it was carryover from the expo, and some of it was from different pickups and acquisitions. Some good stuff. And we learned more about Bengals and Blair's involvement in the design of that. So I think that's fair. So before we go, I think we'd wanted to have a little bit of fun. We don't have a specific card topic that I want to touch on. We'll come back next week with one. But before we go, though, I think we need to hear a little bit about Taylor Swift. So, Blair, I heard so many rumors. And look, Steve even made background things to do it. Steve, I think you'll appreciate this. I think we need to hear a little bit more about T-Swift. So can you tell us a little bit, Blair? What happened with your visit to my neck of the woods and some T-Swift?
No, I didn't meet her or anything. I was going to go there, but I won't. No, it was pretty. My wife and my daughter got to go enjoy the concerts, so I'm living vicariously through them and everybody else that was the other 8 gazillion people that dropped by Toronto the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it was pretty hyped. We went around and they had the bracelets everywhere and even on buildings. And I should have took a picture actually, but anyway, or showed a picture of my daughter. But anyway, yeah, they it was pretty hyped. We kind of made a trip of it, 4 or 5 days, and I got to go to the Hockey Hall of Fame. That was one of my highlights, and I hadn't been there in 20 years. I know a lot of things don't change, but got my picture with the Stanley Cup, and yeah, but it was. I mean, it was a pretty exciting hyped. But it was great because everybody was happy for the most part.
Everybody's happy, sure.
There's a couple of subway dwellers maybe, but no, everybody was. It was everybody was excited, and on the couple of concert nights we were there, you go down to the hotel lobby on our way somewhere, and everybody dressed up and excited and cheering and having a grand time. So it was exciting, and the girls loved. I mean, absolutely had an awesome time. So that's about all I can speak to on my Taylor Swift thing. But,
well, that's fine. We'll let you off the hook on that one. But here's what I want to know, because since you mentioned it. So you visited the Hall of Fame. Like I said, we're just having a little bantering, a little chatting here at the end before we call it an episode. But since you did go to the Hall of Fame and you said it'd been 20 years, I don't know if I told you guys. I actually used to work in the building where the Hall of Fame was. So so I actually worked upstairs. So if you guys ever go into the building, I think it's Brookfield Place. I always forget the name of the building, but I think it's called Brookfield Place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so there, I used to work upstairs. So you go up the elevators, and actually my manager one time when we basically were leaving the office a little early. We were going to go do something else, but we had a little time to kill in between. And he's like, "Why don't I just take you guys to the Hall of Fame?" So we went downstairs and went in the Hall of Fame and walked around and did the exhibits. Literally, we're in the building. If you're ever there, though, there's a Tim Hortons on that main floor area, and that Tim Hortons is a little bit special because they actually have display pieces and things right around it. So it's Tim Hortons, but you've actually got Hall of Fame and hockey memorabilia, pucks, and jersey uniforms and a lot of equipment, and they've got it in these display cases right around the Tim Hortons. So it's kind of a unique Tim Hortons given the proximity, and then you've got the shop there, the Hall of Fame shop.
Yeah.
So, Blair, when you were there, other than the obvious piles of swag you got, what was your favorite exhibit? You took a picture with the Stanley Cup. Anything else to stand out for you?
I liked a lot. Actually, I was just going to show a picture of my daughter just to get, because she'll freak out if I tell her I put her on her channel. But yeah, I gravitate to the old stuff. So some of the original Stanley Cup pieces. They have the part of one of the bottoms, I think, in the original Stanley Cup, and
yep, they flatten out the silver so that you can actually see the layers of it. Yeah.
That was neat, and just looking at the original engravings and stuff like that. And there was actually, I got a great, some of the old jerseys, from back in the day, the 30s. They had an original Hamilton Tigers jersey, and there's a cool story documentary done on the Hamilton Tigers. Anyway. Yeah, so just that kind of thing, I really gravitate to the old stuff. But yeah, seeing the old Stanley Cup pieces and the old engravings and things like that, I really, really enjoyed that.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, Steve, we tried. We tried to get some T-Swift. I think Blair's holding out on us. I think he and Taylor were hanging out. I think that's what happened.
This is. Well,
in the middle, Blair. You got to put it in the middle. Just put it in front of your head. If you put it in front of your head, it's there.
So that's the big Taylor Swift fakey.
Yeah, the bracelet. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
There you go. This is what happens when we got a big concert, Steve. I still work downtown a couple of days a week, and it's always interesting when something like that's going on. When there's one of those big events, you can tell because the procession of people that are by. Now, that's the reason why I'm glad I only work a couple of days a week downtown. I don't need to be there all the time. But I'm within close enough proximity. I'm still within striking distance. I can hop down. Advantage of living in the suburbs. You don't have to be downtown all the time and deal with all of it. But if you pop down there, you get a little bit of a sense of it. Yeah. No, it's good. I'm glad you were able to have a good time with it, Blair. So that's a good thing. And next time, though, if you're going to go to Hall of Fame and go through that much trouble, you got to take pictures, man.
Yeah, I do. Sorry.
Oh, he's got pictures.
I didn't know. Oh, yeah, I got pictures. I just didn't want to clog up our time with my pictures, but I could definitely send some along for sure.
Well, hey Blair, why don't we do this? We'll wind down the episode on this. Again, we were just chatting a little bit. Again, if there was no specific one product that we wanted to chat, we gave you a couple of different ones that are going to come in the store. If any of you are the wrestling fans, the Select sold well because there are a couple of rookies that people are chasing after. And by the way, some of the lower end parallels. I'll just give you guys a little background. I've been keeping an eye on it. Some of the lower end parallels have been doing very well because some of the popular characters, people have been really chasing them pretty hard. So just bear that in mind. That is part of the reason why the last round of Select went so quick. So if you want to make sure selection, do reach out to the store just to make sure that you have availability. But yeah, as we'll wind down, so why don't we do this, Blair? Get your pictures together, and then next week we'll get a little Blair slideshow. You can get. We want some Hockey Hall of Fame. Get us some slides. We'll go through and we'll check out we'll judge your photography skills. I think that's what we'll do. You failed us on Taylor Swift, so this is the least you can do.
Yeah,
Make up for it.
I wasn't there, so
Make up for it. Make up for it. We need some good pictures. There better be some good Hockey Hall of Fame pictures. Steve and I will judge.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Done.
So that is your assignment. That and Topanga. These are your two things that you got.
I have a note on that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's it for us this time around. Thank you all for checking it out as always. If you got any comments or thoughts, or put in the comments section things that Blair should take pictures of next time that he's in Toronto, because we need to do better than this. We sent him all the way over there on assignment. He was gallivanting up and down, hanging out with Taylor Swift and denying us and then lying to us, pretending that he's not. The least he can do is we need to have some product come out of this, Steve. We need an improvement. I'm very disappointed in the output on this situation.
Yeah, Blair should have his own set of cards too, I think.
Indeed. So feel free to leave anything in the comment section. We will check it out. If it is more time sensitive or more pressing, reach out directly to the store. That is the best way. But otherwise, for Blair, who hung out with Taylor Swift and is lying to us, and for Steve, collected the Scallops Collective people, we thank you for this one, and we will catch you on the next episode.